This is Midnight and his video of feminist review Doom the Dark Ages. Oh, let me just... Doom the Dark Ages, and it is ridiculously bad. You know. And later we're gonna go into history too. Let's go.
The 10th of December of 1990.
No, fuck. Alright, it didn't capture. It did not capture. Now it does.
The 10th of December of 1993, a small studio going by the name of id Software released a game that revolutionized and forever changed the video game industry as we know it. That game being Doom.
A lot of the retailers are getting demand for Doom already, so they know that when Doom 2 comes out, they're going to be able to sell a lot of product.
Doom is
I gotta watch the VOD from that last horror stream, because seeing you do anything with funny juice is funny. God damn it. Man, there were moments where, like, the chat got scared and I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty, you know, this is normal. And then there's other times where just a sound came and I'm like, oh! It's so stupid. But the games did not work for me properly, but, you know.
Considered as one of the greatest games of all time, and for good reason. In less than a year, it was estimated that over 20 million computers had Doom installed. It was such a phenomenon that several universities and companies, including the mega corporation Intel, had to ban Doom from their offices, as most of their employees and students were too busy playing classic deathmatch. This game was so influential that at one point in history, Doom was installed on more computers than Windows 95, which prompted Bill Gates, the wealthiest man in the world at that time, to make this.
These games are getting really realistic.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt me.
That's not how you shoot a rifle, by the way. Where was I? Here. Alright.
Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, as Doom's success came with a wave of controversy for a lot of different reasons.
Is this where it started? Is this where it started saying games incite violence in people? Is this where it came to be? Is this it?
We must remember that at the time, this was considered the pinnacle of computer-generated graphics, which made everyone in 1993 perceive Doom as hyper-realistic. Thanks to this, the grotesque levels of violence, explicit graphical gore, and satanic imagery, Doom was considered blasphemy by the church, claiming that the game corrupted the children by...
No, it is about killing the demons, not about killing the believers.
turning them into merciless killers. In 1994, Doom was banned in Germany, probably because of the Nazi imageries, swastikas, and portraits of the Nazi supreme leader found on the hidden Wolfenstein levels. And in 2001, id Software faced its biggest crisis yet, as the studio was sued by the parents of the victims of the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, claiming that the video game Doom was a direct cause of the killings, as Eric Harris, the main perpetrator, was a radical, fanatical fan of the video game, and even created his own Doom mod of the Columbine High School as practice for his cruel plan. The point I'm trying to make is that Doom was ahead of its time, and most of the world wasn't prepared to witness this level of technology, which is why I understand the negative reactions around this game. Humans fear and hate what they cannot understand. When you create something as culture-shocking as Doom, you're bound to receive some sort of bad faith. That's just natural. What's unnatural, however, is going out of your way and straight up lie about the deeper meaning, the message and theme of any video game. In this case, Doom the Dark Ages, to claim it's every single one of the things I just wrote on screen.
Whoa. Doom the Dark Ages is sexist? transphobic, racist. Okay, racist I get. Misogynistic and condones the rape and deaths of minorities? Right, demons are not a minority. Hello? What?
Did I jump scare you?
Hey.
Sure, what? Coward.
Hello, and thank you for the bit.
I am not making this shit up.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Since 2016, Modern Doom has not shied away from socio-political controversies, and
Really?
with each new game, some people are somehow able to come up with the most unreasonable excuses to paint Doom, or basically any video game, in a bad light. Fuck id Software, Free Palestine, a Doom the Dark Ages review. Do I even need to elaborate any further? Lamentablemente, sí. 3 years ago, I made this video, and I promised myself I would never do anything similar again. Unfortunately, however, this review of Doom the Dark Ages is a direct sequel of this review for Doom Eternal, as it is made by the same person. And it's even more unreasonably unhinged than the one before it. Because of that, if you think Doom the Dark Ages does not represent any of these things, would you kindly leave a huge like? Absolutely radical, fanatical.
Somewhere around here, yeah. Like, by the way.
That if you think Doom the Dark Ages does not represent any of these things, would you kindly leave a huge like? Absolutely destroy the like button. Let's send a message to the person behind this review that sometimes games are just meant to be fun. Also, what does Doom mean to you? What's the deeper meaning you can find behind the ripping and the tearing? Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section, because as you all know, my friends, I read and reply to every single comment I get. It is my purpose in life, and if you do not believe me, I do reply. You can test me right now. Solo hazlo, maldito insecto. With that being said, let's sit down, open this Doom review, and dive straight back into incomprehensible nonsense.
Alright.
This video was sponsored by Gamersubs. Use code midnight.
What are these extra large tubs though? Hold on.
This video was...
Is that like 200 servings? Cause I only know of these. Or hold on, where are my tubs? Oh no, I have those tubs. Wait, do I? No, that's fine.
Was sponsored
it just
by
looks like that on
Gamersubs.
video.
Use code
Okay.
midnight to get 10%
The
off
smaller
of any
ones
of
are just without caffeine. That's it.
cool new
That's the
things.
difference.
For every single one of you who uses my code, my friends, we get one step closer.
Wait, no, there
on
is free sizes. Huh.
getting our own flavor, Spartan Piss. Thank you so much for the support, and I really hope you enjoy.
Wait, that's an extra large caffeine-free version. What the fuck?
There's an old saying that goes as follows: do not believe everything you see on television or the internet.
Also can't stay long, gotta go to church and will be back as soon as I can. That's fine, you take your time to pray. Believing is a beautiful thing as long as it's done with good, you know, as long as it's done in good faith, you know.
And for good reason. You never know if what you're consuming is changing for the worse your perception of the world around you, and this hasn't been more relevant than it is right now. When I finished reading this review, I couldn't believe it was real, and how anyone would go out of their way to write this article full of insane claims on a game about killing demons from hell. That was until I found a video of the author reading through her review and giving more context behind her thoughts.
Something that I wrote in the spirit of my Doom Eternal review
which is to say that I actually critique the game in some kind of meaningful sense, as opposed to just sucking its studio's dicks.
You are talking to the trap car master, my friend.
Yeah, you're like Rain Man. Retarded.
With this, we now know the writer's intention, which is to expose its software for the racism and sexism they have inserted into the Doom franchise, and critique Doom the Dark Ages on what...
There is like 3 main characters, the AI, Doom guy himself, and his guns! What are we talking about here?
Backed by unpopular demand, here's a short review of Doom the Dark Ages from a trans woman's perspective, but also really that of a gothic ludogist, sex worker, pornographic historian, art director, author, and activist. Someone raised on classic Doom who grew to increasingly dislike Doom Eternal
what does Palestine have to do with anything?
In short, fuck it software, free Palestine.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This is only the intro, and there's already so much wrong with it, as the video game Doom has nothing to do with the conflict happening at the other side of the planet. But I digress. This piece explores bigotry in games. For example, read Karl Jobst, still racist. The same argument therein also applies to id Software and Hugo Martin. Clicking this article, I came up with this insane thing. The author blatantly states that not only are Karl Jobst, id Software, and Hugo Martin racists, but that they are also Nazis. Let this be a testament of this entire review. Doom as we know it is tied to capitalism and computers. Computers can be powerful tools. id Software treats them as tickets to Plato's cave, a bread and circus, thoroughly blind refrain of escape abused by manosphere types to dick measure according to Muir and Clark's laws. ¿De qué putas perras vergas mierdas miadas cagadas estás hablando? Plato's cave, Clark's law of science fiction. What does any of this have to do with killing demons from a hell?
I'll tell you. Absolutely fucking nothing.
Nothing.
This, my friends, is known as balderdash. Senseless talk, nonsense writing. In this tiny paragraph, the author alludes Doom to...
There is a descriptive word for that? And it's Balder talk? Okay, cool.
So many different concepts and things that makes it impossible to understand the point trying to be made. If your job is to write, then write something that is digestible. You're not writing a deep philosophical story and how it impacts the world around us. You are reviewing Doom the Dark Ages. If you want to know what the point was in this god-awful paragraph, I have you covered, my friends. What she meant is that id Software uses Doom as a ticket to take us to their own reality, a place where misogynists compete.
I'm sorry, do you know how hell works in this game? Souls that suffered are harvested and used as energy. That's what hell is, just an energy for suffering souls. Not an energy, hold on, just a source for suffering souls. Heaven will use this energy source, that is hell, and create stuff. That is the pact between heaven and hell, and they are doing that to every intelligent being. Because it has to be intelligent, because the power is higher, the energy source is higher when you do it that way. And you're saying this somehow their perfect world that they're imagining some bullshit, bullshit.
To see who has spent more money on technology and is simply better.
I'm better! I am better!
Basically the Doom community without the misogyny. Saying that a game is misogynistic because a handful of people that play it is not a good reason to claim it and the developers behind it are. It's like saying
they took out fucking glory kills. I hate that. I hate that. That is the worst
Craft
thing.
condones violence against animals just because you kill them, without taking in consideration
Oh my
that you
God,
do
what the
in
fuck?
order
What the
to
fuck?
survive. Doom may have a graphic violence and all that shit, but it's a known fact that the game is rated E for everyone. The whole premise of Doom is that anyone can play and enjoy it, all thanks to its simplistic story and controls.
But the foundation of any Doom experience, past or present, is unquestionably combat that's centered around three things: badass demons, big effing guns. That's right. And moving really, really fast.
This was true 10 years ago, and not only is it true today, but it will remain the truth 10 years, even 20 years in the future, because that's what Doom fundamentally represents, a game that anyone can enjoy. Let's move on. To Doom the Dark Ages, we are currently in the middle of a genocide, which its software doesn't challenge. They sedate their audience with the use—
I'm sorry. Yeah. Humanity is oh my God, this is beyond stupid. The demons are genociding humans. That's true. They're, they're harvesting them for energy. Yeah.
Made fair, lacking any irony or critique of the present world under attack by state, corporate powers, or capitalism. Doom as a franchise then feels more toy-like, fake, and money-hungry than ever. We live in gothic times.
Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
This would be true if its software just gave us Doom Eternal 2, a risking of the previous game with exactly the same mechanics, assets, and overall feel, like what happened with Modern Warfare 2 and 3, old and new. But that's not the case here, as Doom the Dark Ages is a game that stands on its own two legs. The game took its software 4 years to develop, alright. It's quite the opposite of a cash grab. But well, here the author raises—
I just think it's a damn shame that the glory kills got taken away. That's my opinion.
Good question. Do video games need to critique the world we live in today? I'm gonna touch upon this point later in the video, but for now just have it in the back of your head.
I understand.
She then goes on to give Doom the Dark Ages actual criticisms, like adding non-FPS mechanics to Doom, such as sparring and slow motion, Mick Gordon not composing the game's soundtrack, which broke all of our hearts for sure, and the intro sequence not including the usual rip and tear with a Slayer's mark on the background, which is complete heresy. I know you like Star Wars, Hugo. The rip and tear voice line alongside the Slayer's mark on the background is Doom's version of the Star Wars text scroll. If you do not include it on the DLC, I'll see you in id Software's parking lot, Hugo. Where was I? Oh yeah. Cringe. With Doom Eternal, Martin and company force-fed the intrusive, incongruous elements despite criticism. Now they have only doubled down. Dark Ages expanding on these inclusions in ways that seem to divide players. And frankly, I wouldn't care if the Israelis hadn't just decided to accelerate their ongoing rampage. She then goes on a huge tangent about the conflict happening in the Middle East, which is fine. She has the right to talk about whatever she sees fit, on which its software doesn't challenge.
There.
She then goes on a huge—
I'm sorry, but she has the right to talk anything about she wants? But is this not a game review? I thought this was a game review, not a Palestine-Israel war review. Like, not to be disrespectful to the lives lost there, I think that's a huge fucking stupid thing, but, why exactly are we talking about that in a game review again? I'm confused.
huge tangent about the conflict happening in the Middle East, which is fine. She has the right to talk about whatever she sees fit on her own website. What's not okay is claiming that its software and the people that worked on Doom: The Dark Ages condone the deaths of millions, only because your goal on the game is to exterminate the demons from hell. Which is funny, because Doom has nothing to do with this conflict.
You want to explain yourself?
These world events make id Software's current Rambo-style power fantasies ring incredibly hollow. Doom's graphical bells and muscles are merely coats of paint designed to repeatedly whitewash genocide and pacify American workers. Wait, it gets even worse, my friends. Last time, I complained about how girls and trans people are strangely missing from Doom. While those complaints remain largely unaddressed as the Dark Age.
There is like three main characters. Again, the AI that talks to you, which is a fucking robot, which is unisex, which turns out to be an angel, which is again probably unisex. I'm not too sure, but if you want to say unisex is trans, fine by me. However, you can't tell me with like three main characters, Doom guy, the AI voice lines, and the guns, that there's not enough trans people. Where? How? You want the demons that are being killed to be this is so stupid. This opinion is absolutely stupid.
Ages like Eternal is a straight white male power fantasy. I now want id Software to address genocide without contributing to it. I do not want a white savior, white Indian narrative. I want a story that critiques extermination versus aiding in the usual replacement arguments. Al Chile no tengo ni puta perra idea de lo que está hablando este. La neta. Now is the perfect time to answer the age-old question. Does video games need to make socio-political statements on their story?
Absolutely.
Which I say,
not.
it all depends on the writer's intention. I have never written anything,
need to,
much less a story. But I find the
can.
theory and science behind writing one fascinating. In fiction writing, there are two terms that act as the foundation of any narrative. Those being the story's theme and tone. Tone is what the writer intends to make you emotionally feel, and it's also how they feel about the subject in question. The anger at the demons for taking innocent lives, and the resentment towards the UAC Corporation for facilitating said deaths. The despair behind finding Maria, only for her to die. And the rage that came after that. The absolute terror of finding the enemies you thought were the strongest being brutally murdered by something even worse. Tone is how a story feels, and you don't have to really think about it, as your unconscious mind is already feeling the weight and impact of the story instinctively. In the other side of the coin, we have the theme. Theme is what the writer wants you to think about, the deeper meaning behind any story, and in video games, the meaning behind your own actions.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question.
I know what this is.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow?
The themes of Bioshock are about the tensions between self-interest and the needs of society. If you actually have a free will, or are just another slave.
This is Bioshock 1, I'm pretty sure. The first one was incredible
and
to
how
play.
our actions define who we are. The theme of Fallout New Vegas is about letting go of the past to embrace the future. Many characters and factions in the game believe that their way of life is how it should be, without taking into consideration its dark side, and it's the player's choice to choose which of the main four factions win.
Waging war against good people is bad for the soul. This may not seem important to you now, but it's the most important thing I've said.
Doom: The Dark Ages is about regaining control, because no matter how much your life has been turned on its head and how many horrible things you have gone through, at the end you can always regain control of your own actions and continue moving forward. All the things I just said are not factual, they are my own interpretations of these games, and your own interpretations can be very different.
Yes, science!
Yet, there's a limit to how much you can bend the meaning behind a story to fit your own little narrative. id Software's Doom: The Dark Ages is a little more than rape apologia, calling itself escape and rescue.
Don't blow it. Don't do drugs.
Sure, it has a girl in it and a few slightly queer-coded demon baddies. The problem is, representation is pointless if it just contributes to genocide by functioning as a cop. Doom Guy is 100% a cop and has always—
That's the whole game! Killing demons!
been. Those who
This makes me so
unironically
mad.
imitate him are Andrew Tate, rapist by proxy and witch hunters acting in bad faith.
I'm sorry, I've never seen Andrew Tate kill a fucking demon. I'm sorry, I've never seen him run around with a dual super shoddy, fucking slinging around the room, dashing across a fucking street in a second, and killing demons with a fucking headshot while they're burning so he gains the fucking extra armor. I'm sorry, I've never seen that. I might have missed it. I'm sorry.
The hero in all Doom games is always a Spartan.
Hold on. I just have to preface this. I don't think Andrew Tate is a good person. But this claim is ridiculous. This
punching anything degenerate in defense of the realm, the state. This is so wrong in so many levels that I do not even know where to start. The person behind this review is trying her hardest to compare the conflict between Israel and Palestine with Doom: The Dark Ages, and is trying even harder to paint the character of Doom Guy and those who play him in the games as mindless drones who rejoice in the killings of minorities. You cannot make this shit up. What's even funnier is that if you took a quick peek into the lore of Doom Guy, you would know that he represents entirely the opposite of what you just wrote. Doom Guy is the antithesis of the ideal soldier and cop, as he doesn't follow orders and will always do what he thinks is right. The main reason why he was in the Phobos space station when all hell broke loose is because he refused to shoot at innocent civilians and assaulted his commanding officer for trying to force him to do it. Throughout the entire 3-year-long franchise, we have seen Doom Guy rebel against the actual oppressor, do what's right and pay the price. In fact, Doom Guy represents everything you believe. A man that acts for the sake of the people who does not discriminate. But no, Doom Guy is a rapist now. The author then goes on a ramble on how Doom: The Dark Ages doubles down on genocide because they do not critique what's happening in the Middle East. How id Software staying silent on this topic is them condoning the deaths of millions of people, that Doom Guy is a pimp, an exterminator, and an oppressor for killing a shit ton of the
Did you just say a pimp?
An exterminator, and an oppressor for killing a shit ton of demons. To conclude, everything is political and human rights aren't up for debate and shouldn't be debated through obfuscation and force, the way id Software does. Capital assigns criminality.
Human rights. Gotta go. See you later. See you later, alligator. Hope you pray in the church real well. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. It was a bit cringe. But what is this? Yeah, human rights don't apply to demons. Hello?
Rapes by design, which
they apply to humans.
Only embraces. We need to hug the alien to have the horse revenge.
Dude, you are so historically retarded.
What in the name of BJ Blazkowicz are you talking about? I have never in my entire life seen someone so dead set on twisting the meaning behind whatever to fit their agenda. What amazes me the most is the irony behind this review. Through its entirety, the author compares the conflict between the humans of Argentina against Hell with that of Israel and Palestine. The irony being that she perceives the Palestinians as the demons we shoot in Doom: The Dark Ages, and that's not helping her case a single bit. The demons we kill in Doom are not innocent human lives caught in the crossfire of a stupid conflict.
They're harvesters.
The demons are are the fire, and the conflict is ingrained in their instinct, as their whole purpose is to exterminate the human population and assimilate Earth.
Any population and turn them into energy.
Earth into hell. There is simply no point of comparison. Doom is just a game about killing demons, monsters, fucking aliens that want to see us, the humans, die. It's not trying to make a political statement, it's just trying to be a fun video game, which makes this entire review being una pinche puñetada más. Maldita sea. Yet, I want to give credit where credit is due, as the author of this review began on somewhat the right track, as the video game Doom does make a political statement, which is, what will happen when the Earth's resources run dry? Will we turn onto each other? On an 80-year war where billions of human lives are lost like in Gears of War? Or will humanity look up to the stars in search of more, whatever the cost? In a sense, Doom critiques the extremely radicalized version of the current world corporations in the form of the UAC, where human lives are disregarded in the name of progress and nothing else. With all due respect to the person behind this review...
I'm sorry? What am I supposed to say? Good luck? Okay.
This is simply not it.
You survive?
And it's outright ridiculous. Hello my friends, this was a pretty long video, so thank you so much for watching it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a huge like, a comment for the algorithm gods to bless this video, and do not
What? At least there's no school. Suspended. Hell yeah.
forget to use code MIDNIGHT on GamerSubs. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, my friends, and stay safe. Adios. Bye.
Hell yeah. All right. Oh. There we go. Yeah, this was Midnight. This was Midnight and his take on the Karen that was reviewing Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah. I hope you check him out, leave a like and subscribe.